Alright, guys. We know about paranormal activities, ghosts, demons, angels. I believe in that stuff. I experienced it here where I live in this apartment. When I used to play computer games all the way to 3 a.m. in the morning, that's when they all come out. The activity, at least the poltergeist activities. I remember one day I saw at least two shadow figures here, one in the hallway, one in the kitchen. I got scared when I saw it first time. The second time I was like, it's whatever. And sometimes I'm seeing the daytime too, which is crazy. The weirdest one is when I used to have a desk lamp in my computer desk, and one time I was about to shut down my computer, right? Because I'm about to go to sleep, right? Because it's already 3 a.m. in the morning. And I remember like my desk lamp started levitating and started shaking. It was a poltergeist activity that just happened. And I was like, when I saw that, I wasn't spooked because I've been experienced that kind of stuff. I just started laughing because I was like, dude, from all the people, well, actually, from all the things that could happen to me, I saw that with my two own eyes, and it was close by. Okay, that was funny. The scariest one here that I experienced was when my younger sister she was trying to be a Christian. She was going to church and to school to learn about Christianity and all that stuff, and we were proud of her, right? Because at that time, the house was just like, if I invited you guys that time, you would feel the negative energy because I would just fight with my father a lot. But I remember it was 3 a.m. in the morning, I'm about to go to sleep, and where I was sleeping in the room, I sleep in the right side, my younger sister on the left. I try and go to sleep, right? I'm looking at the ceiling and I start hearing a dog growl. The thing is, we don't have a dog just because I don't want to deal with health insurance, and then I don't want to deal with the dog when it pees in the carpet or poops because I don't want to clean it, so we don't have one. And I hear a growl, like an evil growl, and I got freaked out because I'm like, dude, this is a hellhound, dude, because that's the only explanation, to be honest. I start praying, okay, guys? I start praying. Luckily, it calmed me down and I fell asleep, but that was the scariest thing that ever happened to me in this house where I live. Then comes to my job. I work in restaurants, and most of these restaurants are inside a hotel. If you guys know, hotels is like a perfect breeding ground for paranormal activity. I remember one of my sous chef needed a closing shift as a dishwasher, needed someone to cover that shift, and I was dumb. I'd say, okay, I'll do it. It was just one day, right? One night. Here's the thing, guys. The closer always leaves close to 1 a.m. depending how fast they clean the dishes, the pots and pans, and the trash and all that stuff, right? Because you have to clean all that stuff. And I remember, right, like I already finished cleaning all that stuff. I just need to take the trash out. And where the dishwasher section was located, it was in the back of the restaurant. So if you look forward, you could see the front of the house, and there's the entrance. I remember I looked forward, right, and this freaking tall figure with a black tux or black suit, tall, skinny, just like a slender man, no head, just walking like this towards the wall. Once it reached the wall, it disappeared. When I saw that, I got so scared. I grabbed the trash, went in the alley, dumped it in the dumpster, closed all the doors, boom, 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 went to the locker room. I changed so fast and I got out of there as soon as possible because it was almost 1 a.m. in the morning. And then this restaurant was like close to Chinatown. If you guys know, Chinatown is an old neighborhood, and there's a lot of storage there. Actually, I think there's like a ghost tour over there in Chinatown. You guys should check it out. To be honest, it's pretty cool stuff. Okay, the craziest one that I experienced, I consider this like a poltergeist or activity, is when I went to Mexico, and I go to Mexico to visit my family, right? I try to do it twice a year. And where I stay at my father's house. And that house, well, my grandma told me, there's ghosts there. It's haunted. They try to scare you sometimes. And I remember one time in the room that I stay most of the time, it's literally close to the rooftop. And there's a metal door, right, towards the rooftop. We always close that door with a lock at nighttime, obviously, because we don't want thieves to come in so that they could steal our stuff or kill us, right? Because some of them have guns. So we always lock it, right? And it was close to 3 a.m. in the morning, and I start hearing footsteps in the rooftop. And I'm like, whoa, dude. Like, at that point, I was kind of scared because, like, dude, there's thieves. I don't have a weapon, dude. How am I going to defend myself? Like, literally right there at the door. And then out of nowhere, they start knocking for hours straight. At that point, I was like, there's no thief whatsoever. I don't think a thief will ever blow their cover. At that point, I started, besides getting scared, I started thinking, like, maybe it's like black eyed children. If you guys know about that story of black eyed children's, like, they'll try getting your house by knocking, and if you invite them in, that's when bad omens, like bad luck comes in, and like your life goes downhill. Because apparently they're like demons or aliens. I don't know, really. They're just stories. And then there's a story about in Mexico, duendes. I think they're like elves. And these duendes, they're they're troublemakers pretty much. They like to scare humans. If you treat them bad, they'll literally scare you every day, every night. They'll try to scare you, make your life miserable. But yeah, an hour straight of knocking at that metal door, and thank God it stopped because I fell asleep. But then I mentioned it in the morning, and I was telling him, hey, did you guys hear anything weird last night? Like any footsteps on the rooftop? And one of them said, yeah, I actually heard like footsteps on the rooftop. And I was like, okay, I'm not the only one. And then I started explaining to them what happened, and they got scared. But I was like, damn, dude, like I can't be like, I don't know, something about Mexico, man, because we have so many stories from witches, you know, shamans, or shapeshifters in Veracruz. Apparently, there's like a tribe that could shapeshift to any animals, pretty much. A lot of weird stuff happened there, but like I said, if you guys believe in this, you could believe it. If not, it's okay because a lot of people are skeptic, and I understand because you probably never experienced it, but I experienced paranormal activity, so that's why I believe it. But if you guys like these stories, please let me know, and also comment below if you guys have any stories about paranormal activities or weird stuff happened to you in your life. Just comment below and I'll read them, and maybe I'll make a video, who knows. But like I said, guys, thank you so much for watching this video, and I'll see you guys on the next one.